Welcome back. This is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton, and today we're hanging insulation. These are 2x4 walls, and the maximum we could go in the walls here with the batting, with roll batting, was an R15. And we got the actual bats, the pre-cut bats for the ceiling, and those are R38s. And then hang on here, and I'll show you those. Here's the R38 bats. These are by Certainteed. You can see we have it all insulated up here in the peak. We have an R19 here in the attic because we had a roll of that left over from the attic. We found a roll of it in the attic, so that saved us a little money. Here we have Pro vent baffles. This right here is my cutting station. I bat it up against the floor here with my tape measure, and I roll it lengthways down the wall that way. These are 9-foot 6-inch walls. So, but some of them, you know, some may be off, so you have to measure every piece. Alright, we just have to finish filling in these right here. Some little tuck pieces. You want to be sure and put your pieces in the corner really well and tuck it in. Even if it takes 2 hands, tuck it in. And then here you can see that we added some of the heat tape because we had to, this was a little bit wide. That's the only wall we had to do that on. And when you come around your outlet boxes, be sure and put a little bit of insulation behind the box. And make sure and split that insulation open and tuck half of it behind the wire. And the other half just lay flat in front of the wire. Let me take my goggles off here. It gets hot in those things. They get steamed up and I can't breathe. As you can see here coming down the wall, some of it has craft paper on it, some of it doesn't. It's fine. We're just gonna, again, we just tuck this all the way into the corner. Made sure that this went all the way in because the drywall meets here. So you want this batting up behind here. You want to make sure there's plenty of batting. Make sure you get the same R factor, if not more, when you're tucking it in. Cut your triangles, and you can see that we ran this all the way up to the ceiling there, above our ceiling joist. Then here I've installed one baffle. To show you how to install the baffle, you just take your staple gun. My other staple gun that I actually was supposed to use broke. And you just put this up. You'll make sure this R38 batting, pre-cut bats, do not block this because I need the airflow from your soffits to come up the roof and come out the end. You should be able to feel that airflow. And then here you can see where we just tack stapled it down and sit it right up in there. And you might get some places here that'll be hard to reach. There you go. And you just want to make sure that when your bats are up against here that you do not block that airflow. And you see how thick this R38 is? If you have to, you can run more than one vent up the ceiling in order to keep it from getting blocked up here. You want to make sure that air flows up and through here. So we're moving right along. Drywallers will be here next week. I got all the HVAC ran. Husband ran all the wiring. I helped him pull wires. I want to show you these vents a little closer. See? See how they're shaped? This right here lets that air flow through. They make foam ones. They make all kinds of them, but they make some cheap ones. You want to be sure and use. Make sure you get the right size. These are your pre-manufactured trusses will be 24 inches on center, so they'll have some that are made for that on those Sure vents. And then you've got here where we've stick framed. It's definitely a 2-man job. It'll take you 2 days to do something like this for 2 men that's not used to doing it. I'm not used to doing it, so I usually have a crew that does this, but this was a small job. If it's a small job, I'll do it myself. I'm a little bit more particular. Like I don't know if you can see this very well. There you go. You can see where I take a putty knife and I just stuff insulation around all the windows. Make sure you hit, and you don't want to pack the insulation in real tight either. You just want to kind of give it a tuck. And you don't want to staple on this side. You just want to staple right here. You just want to pull that lip open and staple it. Some people don't even do that, but I do because that's your moisture barrier. You really do need that. And some people will do the what doesn't have the craft paper on it, and they'll just do open batting, and then they'll just run plastic throughout the room. Okay, you have to excuse the way I look. I'm covered in fiberglass. I mean, I'm itching all over. Be sure and wear a heavy pair of gloves, but I mean, that's it. I mean, it's pretty basic. Just be sure and hit everything, cut around the outlets, pack a little bit of insulation. It's easy to get insulation behind the outlets if you just take a few scrap pieces that are just like, here, I'll show you. Like if you get, so if you get a few scrap pieces like this, it has the paper backing on it here like this. Okay? Got a little bit of this right here on there. Take it like this right here. Ah. Of course, it doesn't rip when you want it to. There you go. Take it like that right there. And put this behind an outlet or a switch plate. And then you've got a little bit of a wind stop and a little bit of a wind barrier there. Okay? All you need is a tape measure. You just want to measure from the top down. There's 28 inches and add a ½ inch. Even up to an inch, that's fine. But I always add about a ½ inch. And then I just roll them out there like I showed you in the cutting station on the ground. Pre-cut. And then I cut around the outlets and the switch plates. But to pre-cut these and just set them aside while somebody else is sticking them in. And if you get ahead of them on your cutting, then you can go around the other end and you can start putting them in. But I find this very satisfying to build your own room, build your own room addition. You can do this. Like I said, if you're not professionals, it'd probably take you 2 days to do a 12 by 22 room, maybe even 3 days. Take your time. It doesn't matter. Just have fun with it. If you've got several adult friends, you know, have a cookout, have a barbecue when you're done, and maybe you can get it done quicker with a couple of people helping. You know, have them help you. But this is something that you can do, and I definitely encourage you to do this. You might not want to do your own wiring, but like we did. And your city code might not allow it. But you can do your own insulating. There's no city code, especially here in Indiana, central Indiana, on that. I don't know about your town, but here you don't have to be licensed to put up the CertainTeed. You know, they have CertainTeed licensed dealers and stuff, but this stuff's made for you to be able to do this, you know, to do this yourself. So, okay, so I hope this helps you on this stage, and the next stage, I can tell you this much. I'm really bad at drywalling. I'm even bad at hanging it. You do not want to see me hang drywall. It's the one thing I won't do. I can't finish it out. I've tried and tried. My stuff either cracks, my ceilings look bad. I used to use the paper. When I switched to mesh, I started doing a little better. We are going to be using mesh in here for the drywall. But come along for that video because the guy that's doing my my drywall for me, and they're going to let me videotape them and help do an informational video on how to do it for yourself. So this is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. Enjoy. Okay, it's day 3 and we've got the insulation done. Thank God. This took a lot longer because I was meeting with contractors. I mean, I had a lot going on and my husband had to really fill in for me. We got the patio done. We've got part of the sidewalk done. We got the vinyl siding done. So when it was nice outside, we worked outside. And then we came in to finish this. Now, here comes my husband. Thank you. Oh, these gloves are, I lost the glove. I lost the glove in here somewhere. That's fine. I'll get a new set.
We'll find it.
Yeah, it'll pop up. There's my mask. All right. So now what we're doing today, this is my husband, John.
Hi.
Hello. What we're going to do today is we're going to head up here. Let me grab the camera. We're going to head up here, and we've taken out one of these bats up here. John's going to hop up into the attic here, and you can see, hang on. As you can see right here, when we were pushing some of these in, there was no back on here to push up against. And you can see up into the attic up here on these little V's where we put this in. So he's going to go up there and he's going to push these forward, and he's going to make sure we can't see any daylight along this top ridge. We'll make sure, because that is attic up there and we don't want the air flow down and in front of these bats. That's very important. See how up here we got it nice and taut? Yeah, you wanna make sure if there's no stop up there and it goes past the board, you want to make sure if that board goes up into the attic or into an airspace that there's no way that you can see down. See right here we got some open air spaces. We'll just come in here and put just a little bit of batting up here in these corners right here. See those? Yeah, I've already got that side done. And I've just taken a spackling knife and I'm just kind of sticking in the batting right here around all the windows. here around all the doors. We're just sticking in a little bit of insulation all the way around. And where you can't fit in insulation in the small spots, then you just want to take around here and you just want to caulk. And you can caulk over the top of this as well. That would be fine, you know. The more the merrier. Now, like right here where there's like a little bit of space here on this block that we made for this piece, we insulated behind it, but you might get a little bit of air space here. You know, like right in here. So you can caulk the extra areas. That's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stuff a little insulation in there. I think that'll do it. Alright, so John's going to head up here into the attic. We're going to get this done this afternoon. And drywaller should be here sometime this week. I'm hoping. He was here yesterday for his bid, so we're hoping to get this done. Here you can see we got the ceiling all done. And just some special notes up here. When you come around something like this HVAC duct, for the heating the air duct, you want to be sure and pull that insulation up and behind that. You want to make sure that that's covered in insulation behind that section right there. But you don't want to block your sure vents. Places like this right here, we stuffed with batting, and you don't want to stuff it, you don't want to pack it really tight because you don't want to lose that R factor. Okay? And we just had a couple of places like that. Now I'm going to come around here and I'm going to finish going around these windows, but you don't want to stuff this so tight that you bend these sill plates in. Okay, your woodwork in. That's not good. So that's all we really have left to do, and some caulking. I've got most of the caulking done outside as well. And places you want to caulk, okay? You want to caulk, and I use a clear caulk so you can't see it, but you can probably see the shininess or hear me hitting it. But I caulked all my inside corners. I caulked anywhere where a window where I couldn't fit in insulation underneath the windows, like right here. You want to caulk the sill plate where it meets the concrete and block, or the concrete floor or the wood floor, your green plate right here. You want to caulk the whole room. I caulked down the corners just for moisture reasons, and then right here, because this side of the house sees the most wind coming off this corner. And then I caulked where my concrete met my concrete slab. Again, I used a clear caulk. And you know, we also had used that waterproofer paint. So that's where we're at. And hubby's going to step into the attic here and he's going to finish it up. Now up here on the ceiling, we got this custom box made for our ceiling fan and crystal chandelier that we're going to retrofit together. We wanted to be able to move the air down and have a fan in this vault, but we also wanted the look of a chandelier, and I love chandeliers. A lot of you know I make my own chandeliers, so I wanted a crystal chandelier in this room. That's the shabby chic look we were going for, kind of seaside cottage look. So you want to be sure and keep your insulation 3 inches or more away from any electrical box. And you can see we achieved that by he just ran that insulation right up and over the top of that box there, and then up this way and met together at the peak. Alright, and that's perfect. You don't want to pack this real tight, or else you'll bow this, and you don't want to bow your frame. So far, so good. We're just using this piece of batting here. You just tear it off in layers just like that right there. Depending on the size of the gap, if it's a smaller gap, you can even tear it even thinner like that right there. Just kind of tear it down the middle like that right there. So it'd be a couple of long strips just like that right there. Okay, so this is the side of the house where we get the most winds. Matter of fact, if a tornado were to come, it would come from this northeast direction. You'd be surprised when a tornado comes through. I've seen it actually come right down here. It bent my pine tree sideways, so... Well, this is not real fun, but it's not difficult either. It's just time consuming. Especially when you know you want to do it right. So I'm probably over-insulating, but I don't think you can over-insulate. Not in Indiana. That's like saying you're over-insulating in Montana. We get 30 degrees below zero here. and we get blizzards, so if I can stop the wind and rain at any point in time and the cold from coming through, by golly, I'm going to. Okay, so that's our update, and I hope that you enjoyed how to insulate your new room addition. Whew. Okay, John's putting the last piece up on the balloon wall, and that completes this insulation job for the day. So, well, completes it completely.
Yeah.
So let's run in and take a look at our drywaller bed and see where we are. Finish this off with we had some leftover ceiling bats of R38. We just put those down here, and then we put some R38s back up against this wall. So it's extra insulated, isn't it, John?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that looks really good. Anyway, this is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton, and I hope you come along for the next video that we make on the room addition. I still have a couple of more videos yet to post, so I hope you keep tagging along with us as we get this thing done from beginning to completion. That's the deal, okay? Be sure and go out and try this. So I'm really having fun with it. My husband and I are, so enjoy.